or 6 over there. Are we ready?
Yes.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
Yep. The third round of this year's Regal Trophy brings Leigh to the boulevard here on a very cold December day to try and challenge Hull, who've been in great form recently. And conditions pretty good out there, but there is a patch certainly under the new threepenny stand here that looks pretty hard, and the frost is starting to set in again. The pitch has been covered overnight and it's certainly playable, but it might get a little tricky on this near side as the game goes on. Leigh are coming onto the field now, Hull already out there. Let's have a look at the two sides. The Hull side first, fullback Richard Gay, Paul Eastwood and Matthew Donkin on the wings, with James Grant and Rob Nolan settled centre partnership. Scott Gale and Ivan Henjak, the All-Australian halfback combination, with Andy Dannett, Lee Jackson and Russ Walker in the front row. Ian Marlowe is out injured with a groin strain. Steve McNamara and John Sharp in the second row, and Dean Busby at loose forward, with Mike Dixon getting his chance on the substitutes bench today alongside Chico Jackson. The Leigh side, well, 1 or 2 injury problems, the Leigh side, and certainly they've got a number of a couple of youngsters, 17-year-olds from the academy side in the team, but nevertheless they'll come on with some good form behind them in recent weeks, and they will be confident, I'm no doubt, today. David Tanner is at fullback, Andy Collier and David Hill on the wings, with David Ruane and Scott Martin, one of the 17-year-olds, in the centre. Jason Donoghue, a very fine prospect, is at standoff, with John Pendlebury, the much-travelled loose forward, filling in at scrum half. Lee Hansen, Andy Ruane and Tim Street, front row. John Elias, the Australian, John Costello and Simon Baldwin, another youngster, they make up the back three. Mark Dainty and Andy Collier, the second Andy Collier, who I'm told is from Wigan, are the two substitutes. The referee today, Mr. Robin Whitfield. A reasonable crowd building up, but only 5 or 6 days from Christmas. This is traditionally a poor time for attendances, but it is a quarter-final tie. A place in a semi-final awaits one of these sides. We hope Hull, and of course once we get to semi-final time, the prize money gets pretty big in this competition, and there is live TV exposure. So Robin Whitfield about to get things underway. Hull will be playing towards the Gordon Street end. Really not much wind here, if any at all, today, and an intriguing contest in prospect, Brian.
Yeah, I think it is. As you said, Leigh have hit a bit of form, only lost 1 out of the last 7 games. Something of a blow for them though overnight at Scott Mann, their Australian centre's pulled out, and he really has been their #1 strike force in the backs. But nonetheless, they're obviously playing with confidence. We look, I think, for John Pendlebury making things work for them. He's swapped the 13 shirt for the 7, but wherever he's playing, he's a skillful ball player, and he'll certainly bring the other forwards onto the ball. Eastwood kicks off. Oh, bad start for Leigh. Knock on by fullback Tanner. Not really a difficult kick. So a dream start for Hull. Busby. Oh, bad ball. Donkin wraps up. Russ Walker. Dannett, the next drive. Goes for the line, just stopped up 2 yards short. Blind, John Sharp. Oh. Gay overrun. Ivan Henjak's pass, then ball into touch. It's Leigh's heading ball. A bit frantic there on the blind side. So it's Pendlebury to feed this ball. Tackle by John Sharp. Tim Street. Hull need to watch him. He loses the ball in hard tackle by Dannett and Busby. It's skillful ball player, Tim Street. Run into a good seam of form this season. So it'll be Henjak to feed. Busby, Henjack. Wrapped up there. Leigh got out the scrum quickly. McNamara takes it up. Hard tackling by Leigh. By Hooker Ruane. Damn it. No, it isn't. It's Jackson going blind. John Sharp to Jackson. To Gay. Just Gay just stopped 2 yards short. Scott Gale. Hull have got men out. Nolan to Grant. But Grant tackled well there by Elias. Sharp. Henjack. Little chip. Oh, well picked up. Leigh moved the ball wide. Good tackle by Scott Gale. That was on David Ruane. Made a good break there. Plenty of pace. David Hill tackled. Hansen. Street. Oh, bumps off Leigh Jackson. Good run there by Street. Ruane. Dummies. Goes. Breaks. Inside ball. Doesn't go to hand. Comes back to Pendlebury. To Hansen. Hansen dummies. Should have parted then. He had men outside. Last tackle. Pendlebury. Oh, good ball inside. It's a try to... I think that was Donahue who got the touchdown there. After Elias threw the ball as he was tackled on the 6th tackle. Ball went loose, kicked ahead, and Jason Donahue won the touchdown. Excellent start there for Leigh. Just been playing about 4 minutes. But really, Steve, twice I thought when Leigh's forward should have been tackled, I thought certainly the hooker made too many yards, and before that Tim Street.
Yes, so really Leigh came an awful long way in that sequence. Some good driving work up the middle, but Hooker Ruane really instrumental in that, and then John Pendlebury dictating play onto the short side, and a lovely inside ball by Donahue. And Leigh came up with a score. So David Tanner, the former St Helens player, with a chance to put Leigh into a 6-0 lead. It's an in-off, but it's 2 points to Leigh, and Leigh lead here by 6 points to 0. So an early shock for Hull, and a real confidence booster for the visitors, whose recent form really has been remarkable considering the desperate start to the season they had. They've had league victories over St Helens and Hull KR, and a draw at home to Leeds and away at Warrington. And that's good form by anybody's standards. Plus 2 wins in the Regal Trophy. It's Costello. And a penalty against Andy Dannett for not clearing the ruck. The Leigh player has gone down. Elias. Can't see what he was doing now. He seems to be back on his feet. Here's Hansen, who we're remembering having a fairly strong game in the league match at Hilton Park a couple of months ago. Street, hitting it up hard. Taken by John Sharp. Pendlebury. Elias. Tackled by Walker and Gale. Costello. Leigh 9 metres short of the halfway line. Donahue is at acting halfback. He runs from there. Got a bit of pace, this lad. very nice footballer. And this is Ruane going for the kick. Taken by Donkin, 10 metres from his own line. Back across the field, but a good lead chase led by Street. He makes the tackle. Gay goes from acting half-back. Not much space there. Walker. Good 10 metres made by Russ Walker. Now Dennett, hitting onto the flat pass. It's taken by Street and Hooker Ruane. Jackson goes from acting half, gets it away to McNamara. But he lacks support. Last tackle. Hull still in their own half. Gale will kick. Down onto Hill's wing. And he's knocked down by James Grant in a good chase. Tanner. Baldwin. And Leigh's new coach, the Australian Steve Sims, certainly not afraid to try his youngsters out. Two 17-year-olds in this side today. And a penalty against Street for not regaining his feet before playing the ball. So Hull's first penalty, and it's been awarded some 32 metres from the Leigh line. Eastwood doesn't consider the goal shot and goes for touch. A Hull with a set of 6 starting 18 metres from the Leigh line. Walker's the decoy. Dennett hits it up on the short side. He's within 10. Busby running on an angle, stepping off his right foot. Sharp up the ruck. All the ball so far turned back inside. What are we going to get this time? Henjack out to Gale. Nolan. But Leigh up in numbers. Make the tackle. Sharp. Walker inside to Gay. Richard Gay still going. He's going to be held up some 5 metres less than from the line. Gale goes for the line. Good tackle by Street, and that's the last one. Leigh have the turnover on their own line. The pass comes out to Santa Martin. Hansen goes without it. Hull collect it. Another set of 6. Andy Dennett. Hull really testing Leigh out in the forwards at the moment, content to work around the rucks. Henjack, Sharp. A good tackle by Pendlebury, read that very well. Lee Jackson. Busby inside to Grant. Handballs it back. Dennett. Gale has to juggle with it, manages to hold on. That's 6 again, says the referee. McNamara. A good tackle there by Ruane. And a penalty against Ruane, the hooker, for interference with the player playing the ball. Lee Jackson goes for touch. Well, certainly Hull ought to get something out of this, Brian. They've had constant possession inside the Leigh 20-metre area.
That's right. But really, Leigh tackled very, very well indeed. A strong drive by McNamara. Bland, John Sharp, Jackson. Oh, look. Picked up by the Leigh winger. That's twice that move's gone wrong down the Bland side. Street coming again. Made a lot of ground. Ruane, who's had a very strong opening to the game. Hansen. Donahue. by Pendlebury, straight to Richard Gay. Takes it well. Beats Donahue. Dummies Eastwood. Good yards by Gay. Sharp. Up the ruck. Walker. Hard tackling by Leigh. Pendlebury winning in that one. McNamara. Henjack. Gale. Nolan. Straightens up. Scott Gale. Kicks. Good kick by Gale. Oh, well taken there by the Leigh fullback. But it's a drop out under his posts.
Very well judged kick by Scott Gale, because the ball just landing short of the line, and the whole tacklers in on fullback Tanner were able to push him back over his line, and the dropout ensues. So Hull certainly got the pressure at the moment, but Leigh tackling very well, Brian.
Yeah, very well indeed. Well, there's no sign of a break in that sequence. Straight to John Sharp, or is it Busby? Busby. Takes it up the middle, beats a man. Leigh Jackson. Drops McNamara off. Tackled by Elias and Hansen. Jackson from acting halfback for the line. He's over. Doesn't get the ball down. 3 Leigh tacklers get him. Jackson can't get the ball down, although he gets over the line. So it's scrum down 10 yards out. Hull's head and ball. Stacks of pressure from Hull. Really should expect to try. I think a penalty against Hull. Not quite sure what for. Oh, for Henjack not putting the ball in straight away. Good relieving kick. Hansen. Straight. Better tackling by Hull. It's Costello. Well, good long kick there by Rowan. The hooker, but from acting half back, makes a good 40 yards. Well, at the moment, for me, Hull pack have no trouble in getting over the advantage line, Steve, but after that, we don't seem to be offering a lot at the moment, although we've had a lot of pressure. Right, send Jack to feed. Eastwood. Tackled by Donahue. Busby. Leigh offside. Too quick play the balls. Eastwood kicking towards the best stand. Just about puts Hull on the halfway line. Just inside the Leigh half. Walker. Jackson runs off again. Oh, beat Hansen easily, but pulled down by Pendlebury in straight. Leigh Jackson. Be free kick to Hull for Tim Street holding him down. I think Eastwood will go for a goal from here. There's no doubt against Steve. If Jackson had got up, there was nobody in front of him again. He could have made another 20 yards.
I think Leigh Jackson fancies running at this defence. At the moment, he's chosen the running option from acting halfback already quite a lot. So far, Brian, I think Hull have been content to work the yardage. They haven't really look to support each other all that effectively at the moment.
No, they haven't really. The forwards have ran, they've made the ground, and they've played, trying to get up quickly, play the ball, bring the next forward in. But like you said, they haven't really gone for continuity so far. And certainly a couple of times that Steve McNamara's took it up, he's looked to pass the ball short, and there's been nobody there. And really a feature of the last 2 or 3 whole games has been the way they have supported, but nonetheless it's very early days. So it's Paul Eastwood, pretty much in front, about 25 yards out. Eyes up the target. Kicks it. Dead straight. So, score now, Hull 2, Leigh 6. That's after about, well, we're just over 20-minute mark. Donahue teeing the ball up, playing out of position today of course because he's thought of as a scrum half rather than a standoff, but a player of great promise, and we've seen already speed off the mark. Kicks it, defended by Richard Gay, runs across, Donkin, good run by Donkin, stopped by Street. John Sharp. Oh, short ball to Grant. Ooh. Wrapped up by Donahue. I thought he was going to pass then. There'd have been interception on if he had done it. Street and Ruane stop him. Ball back to Scott Gale. Under no great pressure. To Tanner. Oh, knocks it on. That's 2 knock-ons that Tanner's done in this first quarter of the game, and now the time under any real pressure.
That in fact was not one of Gale's best kicks. He usually manages to drill it past the full-back and get it closer to the touchline, but Tanner made a complete holics of it. But it looks as if Leigh have got possession from the scrum now. The referee calls for a re-scrum. John Pendlebury feeling a little hard done by there. Penalty against Leigh at the scrum. And Paul Eastwood now, or Leigh Jackson rather, to restart play on the 20-metre line. And he done it. Walker running hard and strong. Good run by Russ Walker. He's within 5 metres. McNamara, Henjack, surely here Nolan, goes for the line. He's held upon it. That's great scrambling defence by Leigh. That looked all on a score. Oh, Nolan in trying to kick through there over the line and go for it. In fact, lost possession. He would have been much better doing the orthodox thing there, really. So Leigh possession. Street. Again making good yards, Street. This time knocked down a good hard tackle by Jackson. Hanson. It's over the 20-metre line, and certainly the 2 Leigh props making good yards. Hill, taken by Eastwood, an old-fashioned Cumberland throw. And now Costello. Last tackle. McNamara coming through to try and put pressure on Ruane. And certainly the effect of that was to make him struggle with the kick. It's taken straight away by Matthew Donkin, but the Leigh chasers are given offside. Encroaching within the 10 metres, and Hull have the penalty about 16 metres inside their own half. Back to that earlier incident, I thought it was great scrambling defence by Leigh, because certainly Steve McNamara looked to open up the defence, and Nolan was really odds-on a score and beautifully taken.
Yeah, it was. I suppose in retrospect, if he'd passed it one further out, the try would have been even more certain, Steve. But yeah, as you said, you'd expected Nolan. He had impetus. He stepped inside the defender, but two other defenders got across and stopped him just short. But more pressure from Hull. McNamara. Lee Jackson acting halfback. To Dannett. Hull going right. Drops inside. John Sharp. Bumps off the loose forward. The young lad. But falls to Elias's tackling. Scott Gale. Scott Gale, dummies. Oh, ball round the man. Must have been forward. Well, I don't know if it came off the Leigh man, Steve, but from what I did it, so Steve thinks it came off the Leigh man, in which case then it wasn't forward. But clever ball around the tackler from Scott Gale to Nolan, who made no mistake. Scott Gale receiving treatment.
Try of great good fortune, really. Scott Gale saw the gap, went through it, saw he was going to be taken, put in the speculative pass, and it went off a Leigh man into the hands of Rob Nolan, who really had an easy run to the line. So a bit of luck certainly for Hull, but you need those in cup matches.
But really, with all that pressure, Hull was certainly looking to score, and I think would certainly be very disappointed if they hadn't done. So it's Paul Eastwood. Kicks and gets it. So it's Hull 8, Leigh 6. Russ Walker. Tackled by Rowan and Street. For me, the two best Leigh forwards so far. Eastwood. Oh, passes to Jackson. Scale to Nolan in the gap. Nolan stretching out. Good passing from Hull. McNamara charging forward. Tackled by Martin. Henjack. Inside to John Sharp. Wrapped up by John Elias, who read the situation well then. McNamara again. Drops Walker off. Good tackle by Rowan, but gets rid of it. Jackson to McNamara. To Gay. Stopped there by Street and Pendlebury. Last tackle. Gale. Another bomb. Missed by the fullback. And touchdown there by Hyven Henjack. Great bomb. Stayed up there forever there from Scott Gale. We've had two excellent bombs from Scott Gale. That second one led to a try. Important try. Pretty much in front. But excellent pressure from the Hull chasers. And finally, as the ball bounced clear, Hyven Henjack had an easy task in touching it down.
Well, that was a perfect bomb, really. And Scott Gale has put up two beauties, and that the second one leading to a try. The first wave of Hull players running onto that, leaping for the ball and really putting the fullback out of his stride, diving on the ball. I think that's Hyven Henjack's first try for the club since arriving, Brian, and it's very well deserved because he's been in great form recently. He's really looking like an excellent playmaker now. Struggled for form a little bit when he came, but he's really at the heart of Hull's attack now, and a nice reward for him. So Paul Eastwood with a easy conversion attempt. Successful. That gives Hull an 8-point lead at 14 points to 6. Paul Eastwood's third goal.
Yeah, and Hull Bowler using the opportunity to make a substitution. The normal substitution of a prop about this stage in the game. Chico Jackson's coming on, Andy Dannett's going off. Andy carrying a bit of a leg, seems to me. Maybe it's not just a tactical substitution. So it's Ruane to kick off. It does. It's going to go to James Grant. To John Sharp. Tackled by Costello on Street. Paul Eastwood. Straightens up. Still going. Good run by Eastwood. Chico Jackson. Thrown down by Elias. McNamara. Jackson to Busby. Oh, good sidestep by Busby, beat Street. Stopped there by Elias, who was holding down again. He's got a referee, he's got him this time. He did the same in the last tackle and got away with it. I think Paul East was going to go for goal. It's about 40 metres out. I think worth doing, Steve. It's well within his range.
And he's struck the 3 shots he's had pretty well so far, so should have that confidence quite high. It's 39 metres, fairly straight. As usual, a model of studied concentration, Paul Eastwood. Strikes it well. Oh, that's a fine goal. Fine kick by Paul Eastwood, his best of the afternoon, his 4th success. Hull stretching their lead out to 16 points to 6.
A good 10-point lead, and we've got 10 minutes left to half-time. Donahue kicking off again. To Russ Walker. Much shorter quick kick-offs than we're usually used to, Steve. These by Donahue. Eastwood. Oh, beats his man well. Makes more yards. Tackled by Ruane in the end. John Sharp up the blind side. Short inside ball to Busby. Whoa. Street really came over the top there. Chico Jackson runs at Elias, but Elias is equal to it. Henjack, Sharp. Oh, inside to nobody in particular then. The ball was overrun. Fortunately, it went backwards. Last tackle. Goes back to Scott Gale. Kicks it to Hill. Oh, stops it well with his foot. But stopped by Henjack and Jackson. Tanner. He's had a bit of a nightmare of a game so far. Hull offside. Steve McNamara. So it's David Ruane to kick for touch. So Mark Dainty, Leigh to making a substitution, of taking full-back Tanner off and putting Mark Dainty on. It's Ruane to take the kick. Hansen. Jackson, Walker into the tackle. bias. Stopped there by Sharp and Jackson. Pendlebury, not Pendlebury, Baldwin up the ruck. Penalty against Hull, against Steve McNamara. It's called over Ivan Henjak. I'll be interested to see what his decision is. I'm not quite sure what the hand on the ball, I think. Probably, I think he was signaling he had his hand on the ball to stop the Leigh man making a quick play of the ball. Oh, right.
Well, Ellery Hanley's been doing that for years. I wonder if he gets pulled up for it. It's one of the more subtle forms of interference. So the youngster Simon Baldwin is having this penalty shot to reduce the arrears. And he's successful. So Leigh back within 8 points now at 16 points to 8. As we said, Brian, that was a fairly rare Leigh encounter into the Hull half, even, because they've certainly been under the cosh, certainly in terms of territory, most of the way through this half. I think it was only really the second time they've been in the whole quarter. Ball from the kick-off almost eludes Hansen. It does elude Hansen, but he's picked up by substitute. By winger Collier. Now Hansen. Clears the 20-metre. Knock on at the ruck. Knock on at the play of the ball by Ruane. And complaining about something or other. Well, he's compounded his error by speaking out of turn, and that's a penalty. Well, not so much for speaking out of turn, but for throwing the ball in disgust. Ungentlemanly conduct, I think you could describe that as. John Pendlebury not impressed. Can't quite see what his complaint was, Brian.
Well, it's difficult to say from here, but I think he said that the whole player interfered to play the ball, and I think pulled the ball out of his hand, Steve. I think that's what he was signalling anyway. Rob Wilson coming on with the sand, was 16th man today, Rob Wilson. Bad discipline there by Rowan, because that kick by Baldwin had brought Leigh back to 8 points, and they were in possession. As it is, it's Eastwood trying to put the lead back to 10. About 30 metres out on an angle. Got a great view of it. Eastwood. Pulls it wide. Just wide of the right hand post. So it's Leigh's dropout. Ruane taking the drop. Straight to Busby. Tackled by Street and Ruane. John Sharp. McNamara. Jackson to Henjak. Scott Gale, James Grant, all well wrapped up there by Rowan and Donahue, really and quickly on Grant, realises the danger man for Hull. Scott Gale, Chico Jackson. Good fierce tackling by Leigh in this section at 5. Rowan really getting involved around the rucks. Henjack kicks. Good kick by Henjack. But fielded by Collier, who's gone to full-back, with Dainty taking his position out on the right wing. But a well-judged kick by Henjack. Hill, well wrapped up. Tim Street, oh, bad ball. Picked up by McNamara. Good attacking position for Hull. It's a penalty against Elias. And I think he's going to get 10 minutes as well. Yes, he is, for a professional foul. Stop to quick play the ball. Yeah, 10 minutes against John Elias. You can't complain about that, Steve. Certainly pull the ball out of McNamara's hand as he was trying to get up quickly to play it. So he won't be back this half. Paul Eastwood. Again, a good kick there by Ivan Henjack. Put the Leigh defenders under some pressure. And for once had some difficulty in clearing the line, and a pretty wild pass to Tim Street. I don't think you can blame Street for missing that pass because it wasn't a particularly good one for him. Went across his body. Went loose, picked up by Steve McNamara, made some yards towards the post. Hull were well lined out for the next attack, and Elias took the chance of disrupting the play of the ball, taking the ball away from McNamara. So, the resultant penalty, it's Paul Eastwood. He should kick it, and he does. So we're back to 10 points. So it's Hull 18, Leigh 8, in just about a minute to half time. Donahue. A longer kick this time, but still to Grant. He'll pick Sharp up, he doesn't. He decides to run himself. Runs at Costello. Bumps him off, but wrapped up by Sharp. Oh, bad play of the ball, but goes to McNamara. Good run by McNamara. And there's a half-time hooter. So Hull have got this good 10-point lead. Really, as Steve said, we've dominated the game territorially without perhaps putting the ball over the line, maybe with the frequency that we should have done. But I'm sure Coach Roy Simmons will be very satisfied because Hull's ball control, field position has been excellent, and I'm sure he'll be saying if we can do the same in the second half, the game's ours. We'll keep this pressure up, well then the Leigh defence will certainly concede some tries in the second half. So it's about maintaining field position and maintaining control of the ball, and certainly Hull have been better than that than Leigh, Steve, and I think really that's the story of the first half.
Yes, a good half for Hull. 18-8 the half-time score. We'll be back to the second half very shortly. Hey? Are we on? Sides have returned for the second half. No changes on the Hull side. Mike Dixon not yet appeared. Chico Jackson, of course, appeared midway through the half round. Did Annett, who looked to have taken a knock. And as Andy's making his way back up the far touchline, it does appear to be a slight limp. A busy period for Hull coming up. The Boxing Day home match here with Sheffield Eagles in 6 days' time, and then depending on success today or otherwise, either Wakefield Trinity at home in the league a week today, or Regal Trophy semi-final. And again, as Brian Hall commented in the first half, Leigh opting for the fairly short kick-off, that barely making the 20-metre line. Chico Jackson Good run by Steve McNamara. Busby is the decoy. Walker hits it up. Sharp. Still going John Sharp. Frees his hands but can't quite get the ball away. Jackson again. Into the Leigh half, and that's the last tackle. Clearly called by Mr. Whitfield. Scott Gale to kick. Lofts it, taken by emergency fullback Collier. And he gets back to 30 metres from his line. Here's the winger Hill. Makes 7 or 8 yards, taken by Walker. Ruane gets the ball away to his brother, Hooker Ruane. Street finds a lot of space. Tim Street, Chico Jackson still backtracking there. 10 metres inside the Hull half now, and a penalty against Sharp. I think John, very hard done by there. And Pendlebury, I think, is going to kick for touch. Now we're going to have Baldwin is going to have a shot at goal. Or is he? No. Yes, he is. The touch judges have gone to the goalpost, and on comes the sand. Some hesitation there.
I think Leigh will be wanting to kill a minute, Steve, because I think it's about a minute and a half. John Elias will be due to come back, so it's in Leigh's interest to take this penalty, even though it's quite a long way out. So it's Baldwin, this young lad from the academy, certainly taking his time. Pretty straight. It's the same position that Eastwood kicked from and was successful. Gives it a good boot. It's way off. Matt Donkin. Wrapped up there, Donahue. McNamara. Chico Jackson. Gets rid of it to Russ Walker. John Sharp up the blind side. Good run by Sharp. Chico Jackson again. Working hard, Chico Jackson. Back to Gale. Oh, nice kick over the fullback, hand over the winger, turning them both. Bounces back for the winger, Hill. Fields it 10 metres from his own line. Tackle there by Gale and Grant. Good kick. John Pendlebury. Oh, Collier. Makes another good 10 metres. Ruane. Another 10 metres. Good running by Leigh. Finding a few holes. Near the ruck. Costello. Tries to get rid of it. He does to Tim Street. Straightens up down the middle. Tackled by Henjack. Really been better if he'd kept coming this way there, Street. Because Leigh had Hull outnumbered down this right hand side. On the moving it right again. Pendlebury. Oh, ball goes to ground. Should be Nolan's. It is. Busby. Runs across field. Straightens up. Stopped by Costello, just in the Leigh half. Costello makes contact with the ball. Oh, good ball there to Gay. Stopped by Donahue. Hull going left. Chico Jackson, run at the gap. He does. Gets it out to Leigh. Jackson drops it. And then picked up by Hanson for Leigh. Baldwin. Ruane. Working hard at his centre. Gets rid of the ball to his brother. Out to Donahue. Tackled by Leigh Jackson and Busby. He'll play it to a forward. He does. He knocks it on. Says it was interfered with by Busby. The referee gives a knock on. So it's Hull's head and ball. Hull's feed it. Henjack goes to the gap. To Gale. Comes in by Donahue. Leigh Jackson action half back. Walker drives in at the Leigh props. Makes a good 10 metres. Leigh Jackson action half back. Beats Street. Oh, just about beats her away and gets up. Gets rid of the ball to Nolan. Nolan for the line. Good cover tackle there by Baldwin. Ball's out. Henjack. McNamara. Oh, he tries to slip a short ball to Gale, goes to ground. Donahue in space. Hill. Ruane again. Oh, straight. We're in across field. Straightens. Chico Jackson gets in finally. Leigh moving it. Pendlebury. Hanson straight on the middle. Tackled by Walker. Last tackle. Ruane from action half back. Good kick. Should be Richard Gay's. It is. Gay gets rid to Eastwood. Eastwood's got room in front of him. Strong run, Grant! Down the touchline, comes inside. Good combination by Eastwood and Grant then, brought the ball right back to the halfway line. Henjack. McNamara. Gale. Gale. Well into the Leigh half, tackled by Baldwin. Rob Nolan from Acton half-back, also tackled by Baldwin. Gale. McNamara. Runs for the gap, though. Nobody's short on his outside then. Henjack going blind. Richard Gay goes to the line. Richard Gay gets rid. John Sharp for the line. But Leigh recover. Good attack by Hull down this left side. Just 6-7 yards out. Henjack. Gale. Gale goes. Gale. Oh. Tries to put the ball down. His tackle short. That's the last tackle. Just tackle a yard short. Donahue. Good tackling by Hull. Hanson. Strong this prop. Ball's loose. It's a penalty against Hull. Stealing the ball in the tackle. So it's Ruane. Going to kick for touch towards the threatening stand. Finds touch. I think Collier's come on now for Leigh. We've got 2 Colliers on the pitch. Hanson, good strong run by Hanson. Straight. And come back on. Oh, free kick against Hull, against Leigh Jackson for holding down. So 2 penalties. Will certainly give Leigh a good attacking position, because this David Ruane's quite a good kicker out of his hand. Right, fans touch, about 30 metres out. Leigh another 6 tackles. I think the feature of the first half was well how Hull got the penalties. That should be the way, but I'm afraid that's twice Hull have given away penalties and put themselves under pressure. Ruane. To Collier. Ruane tackled by Leigh Jackson. Good tackling by Leigh Jackson. Pendlebury. Dummies. Oh, to Street, who misses it. Henjack. I think it's Russ Walker on the ground there, holding his leg. McNamara takes it up. Had a good game, Steve McNamara, for me today. Makes a valuable 10 metres. Busby, no, it's not Busby, it's John Sharp up the blind side. Ooh, high tackle by Costello on Sharp. John's none the worse for wear. Walker's still holding his knee a little bit. I think he'll be all right, hopefully, because really Hull haven't got another prop to bring back on if Dannett's not fully fit. They certainly won't want to risk him with a heavy programme in front of him over the Christmas and New Year period. Eastwood fans touch right on the halfway line. It's in Walker, it's John Sharp up the blind. Busby into a gap. Good play by Busby. Henjack. McNamara. Tackled by Collier. Lee Jackson will go. Lee Jackson. Oh. Walker for the posts. Hull inside the 20-metre area. Good attack this by Hull. Lee Jackson again, coming left. Sharp to Jackson. To Gay. Gay wrapped up there by Dainty and Martin down this side. Henjack again, he'll kick. He does, he kicks through, it's over the line. Oh, well picked up by Street, right in his own line. Or is he over the line? Yes, he is. Pushed over by the Hull defenders. Nonetheless, Street fielded that well, Steve. A difficult kick to take.
Yeah, Ivan Henjack's caused a few problems with those kicks because he runs right up the line before putting it in, and it keeps the defence guessing to the very last minute. And all Tim Street really could do there was fall on it. Unfortunately for him, it was the wrong side of the line. Richard Gay collects the restart, the dropouts, and he takes it back to within 26 away from the Leigh line. Matthew Duncan from acting halfback crosses the 20-metre line. Chico Jackson this time. It's 3 gone. Henjack inside to McNamara, flicks it up to Walker, little knock on. Leigh actually continuing to defend pretty well, Brian, particularly up the middle, near the line. Yeah, another important tackle there by Ruane, the hooker. I think he's had an excellent game for Leigh down the middle. Leigh head and ball. Should heal it. They do. Pendlebury to Donoghue. Tackled by Busby. Stepped inside Scott Gale. Leigh running off again. David Ruane. Pendlebury. Ball to Street. He'll take him on. He does. He bumps off McNamara, but McNamara gets back to him with Rob Nolan and puts him down. Again, Street's had a good game from Pendlebury. Dummies goes. Tries to release the ball, does to Donoghue. Oh, what a good tackle there. I think it's Ivan Henjack when he gets up. It is. Brilliant tackle by Henjack. David Ruane will kick. It should go to Matthew Duncan. It does. Bounces nicely for him. Duncan. It's a good 10 metres. Rob Nolan. Gay to Walker. Lee Jackson. John Sharp. Oh, good run by John. Reaches the halfway. But to McNamara it is. Inside ball to Gay. Long ball to Eastwood. Eastwood inside to Gay. Gay down the wing. But Leigh defence recovered well then. Hull move it left. Scott Gale puts the ball up. It's a bomb, it's a good one. It'll drop short of the line. Oh, well taken there by Tim Street under a lot of pressure. Did well, did Street. Eastwood kicks through. Picked up by Collier. Dainty, looks a few yards.
Hanson's turn next, it is. The Kiwi, again, mixed yards. That's 4 gone. Pendlebury drops off Street inside, but really he had 2-3 old defenders in front and they weren't really in the right place. The trainers on the field getting in the way of the play. Donahue makes a few yards, that's the last tackle. Pendlebury will have to kick. Hull Chasers got up quickly, right to Richard Gay, takes it well, gives it to Donkin. Donkin runs across field, tackled. James Grant runs off, beats a man. Chico Jackson, he's done well since he's come on. Chico Jackson made a lot of yards, Steve.
Worked very hard, he's often certainly involved in every set of 6, sometimes twice. Busby, John Sharp. Hull's approach work again good, but so far unable to breach this Leigh defence in the second half. They lead by 18 points to 8, Hull. Nolan, Eastwood, open up for Eastwood. Now there's real space. He's going for the corner, Paul Eastwood. Still going, good try. Good try, Paul Eastwood. The gap opened up beautifully for him and he showed tremendous pace. And when he gets near the line, the fullback's coming, he's got that strength to ride the tackle and cross in the corner. And substitute fullback Collier really never looked like getting him. Great try to Paul Eastwood. And Hull into the 20s now, 22 points to 8.
I think really, Steve, that's about the best try Eastwood scored this season. Certainly needed some scoring when he came onto the ball. Bit of room in front, decided he was quick enough to use his pace to get outside the defence. And as you said, he was certainly strong enough to resist the last tackle by the Leigh fullback. Great tackle there by great try by Eastwood. Puts Hull 22 points to 8 in front. Has been made. Nonetheless, it's Paul Eastwood from the touchline. We've been playing about 17 minutes in this second half, and that's the first score of the half, and an important one for Hull. It looks a good one. Crowd like it. Oh, just hits the post, bounces away. So it's Hull 22, Leigh 8, and we've got about 23 minutes left to play. Walker's gone off, Dixon's on. Baldwin kicks off this time instead of Rowan. Henjack runs the defence. Stopped by Collier. Here's McNamara. Good run by McNamara. Rides the tackle so well, does Steve McNamara. Chico Jackson running well. I thought Dixon's gone to acting half. He runs off. Tackle by Street. Back to Gale. High kick from Gale onto the winger. Oh, who takes it? Pretty risky thing to do, actually. But anyway, Hill collects the ball, makes a good 6 yards. Collier. Tackled by Leigh Jackson. Hanson doesn't pass it the other way. To Collier again, who's wrapped up by John Sharp. Pendlebury. Street. Gets rid of the ball, but it doesn't go to hand. It's to Hanson. Good well tackled there by Rob Nolan. Dainty beats Jackson, doesn't beat Nolan. Good tackling by Hull, last tackle. To Ruane, kicks for the touchline, but it should go to Richard Gay. It does, bounces off his foot. He'll run across field, I think. It doesn't. Oh, catches a little bit of a high tackle, accidental there actually by Martin, because he fell into it. Good run by Dixon, who runs into a big tackle by Costello. Gets up, quick play the ball. John Sharp. Leigh Jackson acting half back. Finds Busby, who's had quite a quiet second half. Makes a good 10 yards though. Scott Gale, long kick, turns a full back on the winger. Tackle by James Grant. Hansen again. Up. Good 10 yards by Hansen. Beats Busby's tackle. Tim Street. Up the middle. McNamara. Nice inside ball to Dainty. Chico Jackson got back well there to cover up the danger. Pendlebury. Steps inside. Oh. Thinks about passing the ball. Just releases it. Picked up by Steve McNamara. Referee said it's okay, back to 1. Andy Collier. Leigh running up very strong at the moment, Steve. Baldwin, good tackle by Leigh Jackson. The Hansen, no, it's Rowan dummies. Rowan still going. Ball's out, moving left, Donahue. Donahue again. Long ball. Oh, what a tackle by Paul Easter on David Rowan. Great tackle. Certainly felt that one. It's a real try saver. Street, nice ball by Street. Oh. Oh, good scrambling defence there by Hull. Pendlebury. Donahue again. Goes for the gap. Gets a good ball out to Baldwin. Oh, tackle. Last tackle. Leigh will move it right. The do. Pendlebury. Oh, nice ball out. Oh, Donkin gets his man. But Hull's defence was rock solid there, Steve. Met man for man. No gaps appeared.
Well, it was good inventive Leigh attack. That man Jason Donahue involved twice there. But great defence by Hull, especially on the far side. But Leigh having one of their best periods of the game at the moment, making good ground and at the moment tackling pretty well, keeping Hull in their own half. Here's McNamara. A really terrifically hard-working game from Steve McNamara. Back to Gale for the kick. Taken easily this time by the winger Hill. He makes ground, almost up to the halfway. As Hull starting to fall off 1 or 2 tackles. Hansen, tackled by Henjak. Good defender, this Australian scrum half. Baldwin puts it down. Lehman falls on the ball and the referee blows for a knock-on. We've had 24 minutes of this second half. Hull with a 22 points to 8 lead. Gay, nice switch up the scrum. Rob Nolan goes back inside, but Leigh hold their ground well. Elias is back on the field. Yeah, worked out for whom. Leigh Jackson acting halfback, finding the space, ball out to Henjak. Henjak takes them on, gets up to the 20-metre line, he's got good acceleration. To the left, Gale, Jackson, Gay inside to Rob Nolan, gets the ball away to Scott Gale. Now Sharp, Hull switching direction nicely, James Grant, out to Matthew Donkin. Donkin takes them on. Grant, Chico Jackson, still going Chico Jackson, sniff of the line, last tackle, 2 metres away. Sharp is first receiver. Richard Gay kicks through. Richard Gay, was he obstructed? Leigh player is tackled over his line in any case. And we're back to that over the head pass. Certainly league tacklers hadn't come up, but not quite the room for Richard Gay. And he put in a little kick that almost resulted in a try. Leigh will drop out from under their own posts. Clears Richard Gay. It's going to be picked up by John Sharp just inside the Leigh half. Inside to Busby. Busby goes out to the right, but pretty well taken by Pendlebury. I think Leigh have come up with possession. Hooked back at the ruck. Street is taken by McNamara, Jackson and Busby. Hanson, who pretty quiet spell in the middle of the game, but the last few minutes has come back and made one or two big drives. Ruane. A penalty against Gale for interference, a little bit of niggle between Gale and Ruane. Mr. Whitfield in there to calm things down. And I think sensible thing here is to have a word with the two players. It's been a very clean game and we don't want any silly niggle creeping into things. Scott Gale penalised for a bit of niggle with Ruane. Ruane finds touch just inside the whole 20-metre line. I think the ground must be beginning to freeze up. Certainly the white patch is encroaching towards the middle of the field now. A good big drive by Hanson. Here's Elias going for the line. He's only 2 metres away. Donahue acting halfback. Brings in Baldwin. Good tackle. Pendlebury. And meets a good wall of Hull tacklers. McNamara, Sharp, and they're driving back 10 metres. Great work. Street. Donahue gets in the clear, doesn't quite make it. Paul Eastwood picks up. Hull have got possession again, but that was, again, fairly enterprising attack by Leigh. Plenty of variety in it.
Yeah, lots of variety. Penalty against Leigh there. Silly really, because that was a good attack. Hull were under some pressure and Leigh gave a penalty away. I think it was Jason Donahue, who Steve said figured in the attack. Looks a bit of pace, this lad. But as it is, it's Eastwood to kick. Good kick by Paul Eastwood. Ball back with Leigh Jackson. Hull are in no hurry to restart play with a 14-point lead. Just need to control the ball. Oh, again Leigh kicks through half back and Leigh Jackson knocks on. It's 2 or 3 times Leigh have got away with that play, Steve, because the Hull man playing the ball's not holding the marker off. At that time it was Costello who ruined the Hull play of the ball. Man, as many times you get away with it, you often get penalised for it, but today Mr. Whitfield's been very tolerant of the tactic. So it's Pendlebury to feed. He feeds it. Baldwin to Pendlebury. Tackled by Henjack. Costello. Oh, made a lot of ground at Costello before John Sharp found he wrapped him up. Street. Pushes off McNamara, pushes off Jackson, but Jackson gets back to him, helped by John Sharp. Pendlebury. Oh, good long pass to Ruane. Well, this time slips Eastwood, but not the other Hull defenders. Elias from acting halfback, very strong. Last tackle. Street. Donahue. Oh, nice ball. He'll score. He does. That's the winger come full-back. Collier joins the line, found some space, scores. Really, at the moment, all the suffering, or really, last 10 minutes, has suffered as their second prop Walker's gone off because they don't seem the strength in the tackle at the moment, Steve, to stop the hard driving of the Leigh forwards. As we commented, yeah, and I can see that looks like Russ Walker's going to have to come back on. He's come off the bench because there's time for Leigh to still win this game, and certainly Hull need a physical presence in the forwards that they're lacking at the moment. Oh, good kick. It's there. So that's is Hull 22, Leigh 14, and we make it 8 minutes left to play. And Walker's coming on and John Sharp's going off. And Leigh are also making a substitution. They're bringing Andy Collier. I think they're Andy Collier off, yes. The second half substitute's coming off. And it looks like Ruane, the hooker's coming back on. Sorry, Tanner. Sorry, it's full-back Tanner come back on. So Paul Eastwood to kick off. Long kick by Eastwood. Fielded by Pendlebury. Gives it to Hansen. Tackled by Walker and Jackson. Tanner. Street. Wrapped up, but Leigh are making ground with these drives. Street plays it forward. Bumps off Dixon. Oh, Leigh still going. David Ruane trying to break up the middle. Gets rid of the ball to Donoghue. Henjack tackles him. Ball goes to ground. It's Scott Gales. Important possession that for Hull. McNamara. Tackled by Collier. Walker. Good run by Russ Walker. Takes all into the Leigh half. Busby. Tackled by Street. Jackson running off. Finds McNamara with a short ball. But he's well wrapped up there by John Elias. 2 tackles left for Hull. Henjack, Gale. Well, long ball to James Grant. He's got room. Puts it back inside for Richard Gay, who stopped on the Leigh 10-metre line. Penalty to Hull. Pendlebury pull the ball away from Gay's hand. I think Eastwood will definitely go for goal. It'll waste time. And it's not a difficult kick. Silly tactics there by Pendlebury, really, Steve. Because they're on the last tackle. Just been announced that Richard Gay won the Man of the Match award. As usual, he's looked dangerous linking up from full-back. Made lots of yards, Richard. He's been pretty solid on defence. So it's Paul Eastwood. Trying to extend Hull's lead back to 10. And for most of the game, it's been 10 points. Certainly most of the second half. Cleans his boots. Does the other boat. Some of the crowd are starting to go home. They've decided that Hull are going to win this game. Absolute concentration from Eastwood. Kicks it. It's 2 points. So we've got 5 minutes left. It's Hull 24, Leigh 14. going to kick off for the centre spot again. Oh, it's a Mike Dixon who knocked it on. Bit of a blow that for Hull. Should have had possession as it is. It's Leeds head and ball. They're just 20 metres from the Hull line. And certainly time for them to score at least once, Stephen, maybe twice.
There's 3 minutes left on the clock. Donoghue from the scrum. Tackled by Gale, and a penalty against Gale for hanging onto Donoghue's foot, and the referee was quite right here. Here's Sir Tim Street, who's surged up the middle, caused a lot of problems for Hull this afternoon. Leigh within 3 metres. Elias. Quick play of the ball. Ruane. Tanner. Tanner takes on Walker, but Walker makes the tackle. Costello. Taken by Rob Nolan. Or James Grant, rather, over there. Donoghue. Pendlebury. Ball goes loose. Picked up well by Rob Nolan. Out to Walker. Walker taken quite high by Elias. And the penalty is given to Hull, so a chance to clear the lines. Eastwood to kick to the old stand. And Hull will restart just inside their own half. Lee Jackson, the restart. Henjack, Eastwood. Run very well today, Paul Eastwood. Had a fine game, I think. Kicked very well and looked very dangerous in attack. McNamara will take them on. Steve McNamara looking for support. Nobody on his shoulder. Henjack on the short side. Drops off Busby. Good approach work by Hull. Line set pretty deep now. To the right. Henjack. Gale. Nolan. Gale wraps around, but as the dummy, Richard Gay takes it. He's well tackled. Walker. Dixon. And he's well wrapped up by Collier. Last tackle. Henjack. Nice ball out to Grant. Bit of space for Grant, but he's tackled on the 20-metre line. That's a turnover. Well, by my reckoning, we're into injury time. Tanner drives away for Leigh, and Leigh going to the end. Really improved rapidly this season. Must be in with a great chance of at least staying in the first division with only, look, when it looks now as if only one side is going to go down. But Hull are going to claim this Regal Trophy quarter-final time, put them into the semi-final for the first time for a number of years. I think it's about 5 years since Hull were last in the semi-final of the Regal Trophy. The first semi-final is on January the 2nd, second on January the 9th, and we shall know tomorrow morning, Monday morning, who the opposition is and when that's going to be. There goes the final hooter. It's 24-14 for Hull. Comfortable victory without ever not playing quite as well as they've done in recent weeks, but a competent performance and really comfortably ahead. Apart from that early try to Leigh, once Hull got ahead, comfortably ahead for most of the game. Leigh never giving in and Hull never really rubbing home the advantage.
Yeah, I think that about sums up the game, Steve. Yeah, Leigh got that dream start, 6 points in front. But as you said, for most of the game, certainly for the next hour, Hull dominated territorially and on the scoreboard. And Leigh came back, didn't give up, kept battling away, and when Hull was short of props, certainly the Leigh forwards took charge for a 10-minute period and scored a try and looked quite dangerous. But as you said, in the end, it's Hull 24, Leigh 14 and Hull in the semi-final.